Let's see here. We are getting ready for this. Let me just double check that everything is set here, so we are live and things look good. All right, so it's happening. All right, so it's Monday. Welcome to the XD Weekly. Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Demian Borba. Just getting out of a cold. My voice is a little weird, but let's do this. No problems. So first of all, thanks for joining, and please let me know where you're tuning in from. Oh, I see Jason there from Costa Rica. Hey, Jason. I see Jay. I see Joel. I see Clavo. Scott Purdue. Hey, Scott. Always here. Great to see you. And yeah, it's great to see so many familiar names here. And today we have a lot to show. We have a lot of good things to show. But first, let's give people some time for them to join. We have Philip joining right now. Hey, Philip. Hey, Joel. Hey, Jay. Yeah, so let me know where you're tuning in from. So this is our weekly live stream. Normally I do this with Lindsay, but today I'm doing it by myself. But we have Kayla there, we have Lindsay checking as well, and any questions that you guys have, please ask. I see Nate. Hey Nate, yo. Good to see good people here interested in learning what we're gonna do. So the plan for today is to learn everything that was released last week as part of our June update. And let's just wait a couple more minutes. Oi, Mateus, Brazilian guys joining as well. Let me know if everything is good, if you can hear me well, and there's no like echo or any problems. Scott is asking if more people from the channel here are joining Adobe Max. So that's a great question. Adobe Max is our big conference that takes place every year in this year will be in LA. Last year was in Vegas, so now it's going to be in Los Angeles, October 15th. We're going to have so many new things for XD there and multiple products, but XD is really shaping up to be like a big one there. We're going to have good release and lots of news there. All right, cool. So we are ready now that I know that I have awesome friends here watching, and just want to reinforce that this is really for you guys. So I'm here to talk to you every Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, to answer any questions you have. So this is for you. This is a connection. This is a door to the XD team at Adobe. So any questions, any things, even if I don't have the answer, I'll hunt the answer and I'll get back to you. So we're live on Facebook and YouTube. It looks like everything is good. All right, so let's get started with the contest. So as you know, sometimes we do a very cool contest where we ask you guys to design anything using XD and following some guidance. So last week we had a contest from Wednesday until now, where we asked designers to use the Vault UI kit that we released to design a password reset screen. So just download the UI kit, the Vault UI kit, and design a password reset screen using XD. And then for we're gonna randomly select a winner, and the winner is taking home a brand new MacBook Pro 13 inches with the touch bar and everything, and 1 year of Creative Cloud, all the apps. So all the apps, Photoshop, Illustrator, XD, the paid version of XD, because as you know, we have a free version of XD, After Effects, Premiere, all the apps, all the Creative Cloud apps there for 1 year. That's amazing. That's there. And the winner that we picked is for this week is Jacob Gorthy. So Jacob, congrats, you were randomly selected to take home this amazing prize, brand new computer and 1 year of CC all apps. And I was taking a look at his work here. So he used XD using the Vault UI kit, not only to design this in XD, but also to create a design spec. So developers that he works with will be able to go to this link that he shared. You can also password protect this link if you want, but now anyone can go to this link. Any developer can go to this link and inspect measurements, the content, and then for other screens that have more text, let's see here, for example, this one, you can see all that text is available here for the developer, so the developer can go to this link to access the design spec, click here, copy, and then paste into code. And also the colors, as soon as you click there, you copy that into memory. Let me just make sure I'm sharing my screen. So again, winner Jacob, you're taking home a brand new computer, 1 year of Creative Cloud, and this is your work. So I was talking about seeing my screen here. I was talking about all the great work that he did, and he shared the design specs. So this is it. This is the link. You can go see the pieces, and as you can see, I was showing this screen here where he has more text. So as soon as you click there as a developer, you can access this link and click here to copy this into memory, and then you can paste into your code, and that will help you a lot. So that's there. Congratulations, Jacob Gorthy. This is the tweet that won it. Brand new computer, 1 year of CC, all apps. This is amazing. Great, awesome, cool. So moving forward, the main reason I'm here, besides to announce this amazing prize, is to show what's new in our June release. So as you know, we have updates. We were working on XD for almost, like, we started the work almost 4 years ago, and in October last year we announced XD 1.0, and since then every month there's a new update. So we had an update in November, December, and now in June, last week, we announced XD9, XD June, our June release, and we had a bunch of new features there. And as we promised, we're making a lot of progress on prototyping features. So here you have the blog post, and I'm sure Kayla can post the link there where you can see everything that was announced. But let me show you one by one so that you can understand. And again, if you have questions along the way, please ask. This is really for you guys. And I have one question here. Can I import this to Xcode? That's a great question. And the whole goal with XD is really to help the designer to design, to prototype, design not only the wireframe but also the high fidelity design, then create a quick prototype to validate that workflow, that idea, then share as a link or run on a mobile app, then get feedback and go back to the design, go back to the prototype to make all the necessary changes. So this iterative design process, that's the whole goal of XD. Then once everything is validated and you're ready to start developing, your developer is ready to start developing, you can share a design spec. But as of now, there are no plans for XD to generate code. So the developer, as we learned, only needs the design spec with information about measurements, also needing the assets. So as we make progress with the design specs, the one that I just showed you, I don't know, like, if you guys remember, but for example, the UI kit, the design that won the prize for the contest this week, created a design spec. So the developer, once things are validated, once things are ready, you can share this with your developer, and then the developer can inspect and get all the information and develop. But that doesn't mean that won't happen. Very soon we are opening up XD for plugins. We even announced a $10 million fund to invest in developers using the Creative Cloud ecosystem, starting with XD plugins, and very soon that will start. And I'm pretty sure that as soon as we open that up, we're gonna have plugins developed for XD designs to React, XD designs to Angular. That's gonna happen, and I'm sure there will be a plugin to make some sort of transition from XD to Xcode or Visual Studio Code. So that's there. All right, cool. Hope that answers your question, Mohammed. We also have a question from Kawe. Let's see. Why the prototypes shared via Creative Cloud with Adobe XD Mobile do not have the fonts like the desktop version does? That's a great question, and the scenario here is, I'm going to talk about that in a bit, but just to answer this question, on Macs today you can connect your phone to your XD project, to your computer, to your Mac, and see a real-time preview. So your design and all that, including the fonts, go via wire, and that's okay. They go via wire, so you can have the fonts on your phone via cable. We're doing the work to allow that to happen on Windows as well. It's in progress, and we're gonna announce that when it's ready. Then there's another way that you can load projects into your mobile app to see on your mobile phone or to do some user testing. You can place your files, your XD files, inside Creative Cloud files. It's just like Dropbox. You place your XD document there, and then you can load that from mobile. So on your mobile device, I have my mobile app here. Let me long press here. This is XD running on mobile, and as you can see, I have 3 tabs here on the bottom. Let me make this smaller so you can see. Nice. So this is my phone protected using QuickTime, and I have 3 tabs. I have my settings, I have my live preview, and I have XD documents. So all the documents that you place here in Creative Cloud files can be accessed here on your phone, and then you can load them, and you can even make them available for offline viewing. The only problem here is that we are not allowed to store fonts here, and it's not that we're sending images to the phone. We're actually sending the XD file to the phone, and XD is really running on the phone, and it's opening this XD document here. So that's that. And because we're not allowed to transfer the font or to store the font in Creative Cloud files, that's the only reason the fonts are not there. In June, one of the announcements, and maybe I can start with that now that we're talking about mobile, is that we announced that if you use typekit fonts in your project, so as you know, if you, let me go to Chrome here very quickly, and I'll create a tab here just to show you this. So typekit has a lot of fonts, and we have a free plan. We have a if you have Creative Cloud All Apps, you also have access to this one that has 5,700 plus fonts, and you can use all that. Now, there's also a free version of it where you can get the free Adobe ID, and then you can use up to a little over 280 fonts. And if you use typekit fonts and you follow that process that I just showed you, placing your document in Creative Cloud files, loading on the phone, and even if you don't have the font, if it is a typekit font, it will load for you. So there's one way of getting it there. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me get back here to my project. Hope that answers your question. Cool. Then we have another question here from Jay. Animation rollovers, please. Any plans? The answer is yes. We are working on micro interactions, and you will be able to do all these micro interactions with started by different triggers to, like you just mentioned here, to do that. So that's coming later this year, and it's looking super exciting. Right, so I already shared one of the features in June. That was the support for Typekit on mobile. So let's go back to XD on the desktop to see what else is there in June. So the first thing that I like to show is let me go back here and I'll go to this project, and the first thing that we announced is the ability to have fixed elements. So let's say I have this chat application here and I have a long scrolling list, and I will make this, guys, let me leave my preview window open here so that I can see all the changes. I will use the repeat grade tool to send it to create more areas there. As you can see, I now have this longer chat structure for my chat application. But now what I need is, first I need to send this to the back. So let's send this to the back. And I need to get this guy here. So this, and the arrow, all these guys here, to stay above the fold, stay fixed. And this was the most requested feature. It had over 5,000 votes in user voice. So if you go to user voice here and you can see the top requests, this one was over 5,000 requests, and it was here, and we changed it from feature started to feature completed, and now we have access to it. So now that I want to fix this, all I need to do is go to my property inspector and tell it to stay fixed, and now if I scroll, this will stay there in place. Another cool feature here is that if I select this background, for example, and I tell it to be a background blur, as you can see, I can scroll and it is applying the background blur there, which is pretty awesome in real time. And I can even adjust how much blur I want. So for iOS, they do a lot of that. For tabs and for the top nav, you can do that now. So that's fixed elements with background blur. You can do more. For example, I can go to this guy here. Let's say I'm creating this list. I'll create a new project. Let's create a new artboard here, and I'll place this guy here. This is, and let me make this bigger. Two things. I want this guy to stay fixed there on top of my fold. I will use this repeat grade to make it longer, as you know. And then for Android, you know, they have the fab button there. So let me get rid of this guy for now, and this, because we're not going to do that. And then I can go back to this area where I have the fab button. I can then copy this, go back to that project and paste there, right there. And again, if I don't do anything and I scroll, both this guy here and the fab are moving, but you can fix that. So let's make sure this is perfectly aligned there. So let me move this there. So all you gotta do now is tell this whole guy here to stay fixed. So let me go back here, and this guy needs to stay fixed, and this one also needs to stay fixed. Now if I scroll, oops, I forgot to tell the plus arrow to stay fixed as well. It was not grouped. So let's go back here. I'll change this, and then I'll make sure I have these two guys selected. I can group them, tell it to stay fixed. Now both the bottom and this fab button are fixed. I can even do the top bottom, the top part here. So this whole thing, including this, they can stay fixed. So now, as you can see, it's a lot more realistic and it's there for you. So that's how you can do it, a Google one. You can also do some pretty cool stuff, like if you want to do more, like if you want to be more creative, let's say let me get an example here. Let's say I get this guy, and I'll create a new project, and I will delete all this. I don't need that. I don't need that. And then I can say fixed elements are great in XD. And I can change this. Let's do it that way. Then I can make it bigger, like that. I can even adjust how closer they are from each other, and let's do like 30 to make it like that. And I can, let's say, place this guy right here and tell it to stay fixed. So look what happens now. Now I can scroll only the background, which is pretty cool. And that guy stays there fixed, right? I can change the font to be more like a bolder one, and as you can see, I can get to pretty good results by being creative with fixed elements. So that's another very good example. Cool. So that's fixed elements in XD. All right. Let's move on. Like the next one is overlays. So another big request there was overlays, meaning that let's say I have this scenario here where I need to tap on this button and I need to show a keyboard. Let me go to this other example where I have this. So in the past, if I wanted to do this, I had to fake it. I would have to go here to this artboard, go to prototype mode, and say, let's say whenever my user taps on the search button, I want to show this artboard. So it's almost like faking it. And if I need to reuse this, it'll be nearly impossible, because I would have to have, for every search or every other area, I would have to have a separate keyboard. With overlays, what you can do is, if you have this scenario now, I can say, go to this artboard, but instead of going to that artboard as a regular transition, please make it as an overlay. When you choose overlay up here, you can then see a position indicator here, and if I click here in the middle, I get a preview so that I can reposition where I want that overlay artboard to show up. Then I can change the transition type here to be slide up, and just by doing that, that guy is now an overlay. When I share this, or when I see this on mobile, it's out there. So let me show you this running on mobile as, so this is my QuickTime running what's happening on my phone, and I just did that so I can click here and I can really see that running. And if I have this cached on my phone, I can really do some user testing right there. Let me close iTunes. Cool. So that's overlays. And you can also do like a side menu as well. Like you can be so creative. And just like fixed elements, if you have overlays with a background blur, this will work as well. So I can click here, tell it to go to overlay. This will slide from the top, slide down, and then if I play this, I get that overlay right there. And then from here I can add links to other artboards. So very, very powerful stuff as well. And so fixed elements and overlays, huge features for XD now available for you there. Wonderful. Cool. Then we also have what we call named invites. So let's say I'm creating a quick prototype here. So my user goes from this guy to this guy, and then from this one to that one. And then if I test this, as you can see, I have this prototype there. I can change the transition to be more like a website, so non-transitions, right? And same here, it's more like a website and non-transition. So again, I can test that. This is a tablet version. And as you can see, now that I have this, if I want to share this as a web link for my stakeholders to give me feedback with this new iterative design process, I can go here on the top right and click on share, then tell it to publish a prototype. And the regular way is to create a public link, and you can even add a password if you want. But now with this release, with the June release, you can also create a new private link. When you do that, first you gotta share the prototype, and after the 3 screens here are uploaded to Creative Cloud with that interaction, I can start inviting people by email. Only people that I want to have access to this by email. So let's wait for that to upload. And once this is done, the next step is to add. So let's say I'm sharing this, and I can even add a message. Please check this out. And I can invite. This will now be published, and I will get that email, and only I can see that. So if I go to my browser and get that link, I can then click and see this prototype after I log in through the process. So that's named Invites Private Sharing, also available now in June. Huge step for enterprises who want to stay in this very controlled environment. The other thing that we have is the ability to, in the past, if I was dragging something, let's say I have this guy here in design mode, and I had, I don't know, like a placeholder for something there. Let's see here, assets, images. I could drag this from Finder, drag it there. And if I was doing this process, this is now a fill, like this is the fill of this shape. I can resize, and the image inside never gets distorted. But if I need to adjust the position here, this would be very hard, because it was not possible, right? You have to do this via mask, and the mask way is the traditional way. I can drag this image here, and then I can add a mask, select both elements, go to object, mask with shape. This is being a mask. I can now double click and adjust where the position is. But if I was dragging directly to a shape, it was impossible to adjust the position within the fill. Now in let me get a cool picture here. Let's say I want to get this image, I can drag from Finder here. This is now the fill of this guy, but if I double click, I can reposition, I can change the size, I can do whatever I want here within this fill. So this is new in our June update, and it's great. It really helps you. It's more natural, right? You can really go there and you can adjust things and go from there. For example, another great example that I used to share all the time, if you're creating a mood board in XD, right, you can have shapes, just simple shapes here. Then I can go to a website, let's say stock.adobe.com. I'm using Chrome. Then I can search for surfing or any other areas. Stock is a service from Adobe where you have amazing imagery, videos, templates. Then I can use, for example, I want to get this guy here from my mood board. But at this point, I want to adjust something. I can double click now and I can make this bigger. And this is the fill, right? I'm just playing with it. Oops, too much like that. I can adjust here and I can click outside to commit. So I can really adjust how I want this to appear. So I can get this one and then I can adjust the surfer there. And as you can see, it's still the fill. It's still smart to help you, but you can now edit the position and the size within that fill, which is great. So that's another big update for XD in June. The next thing that we have is math in PI. So this is, it looks simple, but it's really important. Let's say I have this guy and I want to, for some reason, I want to change the size to half of its size. Now it's 320. I can now do math here. I don't know if you can see it there. Let me zoom in here. I can do divided by 2, and then it changes the size. Where is it? There you go. Or I can get it back to that original size. Super simple, but you can now do math within the PI. For every input text field here, you can do math. And that, hopefully that helps you. Again, super simple, but very important. That really helps you there. So that's our another update. And the last update is the improvement on the Photoshop and Sketch importer. So if you have Sketch files or Photoshop files, you can go to File, Open, then you can pick, let's say it's a Sketch file. Let's say I want to import the one created by Apple for iOS 12. I just download that Sketch file, open here. Now XD will convert everything into our XD world, and if you happen to have an image field, this is now supported, and you can expect more improvements here. So all the different pages are now here. If you see the assets panel, it brought all the character styles and all the symbols that are here that were there in Sketch in the beginning, and you can start working here, and you can do everything that you have. So this is a very good way for you to bring your Sketch content into XD, and you can also do that with Photoshop. So if you go to File, Open, and you pick Photoshop file, let me go back to that Photoshop, and in this case I downloaded the UI kit from Google. That's a PSD with 85 megabytes, and again, you can open this will make all the conversion for you. And the only thing that's we're doing everything we can to convert everything that's in Photoshop into XD. We're still improving this, but it's almost there. It does a lot of great work, and every month you can expect improvements here. So the improvement for this month is the support for image fills, and again, you can start using this, guys, text and all that, and all there for you. Cool. And if you save this document, believe it or not, it goes from, if you save that Photoshop file that was 85 megabytes, it goes from 85 megabytes, and if I save without any change, to 1.5 megabytes, which is insane. So if you care about performance, if you care about file size, XD does a great job here helping you there. All right, guys, so that's all we had for our June update. Thanks for watching. Let me see if we have any other question here. Thanks for the good words here, everyone, saying congratulating us on the fixed elements and overlays for elements below the fold. Technically, Cosmin, you really want to have your fixed elements. Oh, you're saying overlays don't work really well. So let me investigate this and take a look. If you can send some samples to us via Twitter, just make sure it's #AdobeXD. So tweet something with like, this is the problem I'm seeing with overlays below the fold, for us to take a look, and then we can interact and help you there. And this will really help us improve the product. And then can't wait for market interactions. Cool. Yeah, so maybe next week we do some sneaks, or there's a lot of great work being done. You can expect more features in July, and as we make progress throughout the year, you can really expect more and more. So I really want to thank you guys again for watching, for asking questions, for being a good part of this process. You guys are really influencing how we develop and how we make XD evolve. So thank you very, very much. Let's talk next week. And yeah, have a great week, everyone. Bye.